Hey everybody, Gina DeLuca here. I am back from vacation and ready to make a mess. So, what I had planned for today was an experiment, a straight pour experiment using the DecoArt Americana line. These paints are all matte. So I wanted to test it to see if they would sell. I mixed 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. The colors I have are Bahama Blue. This is an opaque. So if it were the same as basics, this should fall to the background. I have Ultra Blue Deep, Purple Pizzazz, Citron Green, and Cadmium Yellow. So we have 1 opaque, and the rest are either transparent or semi-transparent. So I did 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint, and then I added some of my 90-10 mixture, 90% water, 10% Floetrol, to thin it. Then I added 3 drops of alcohol to each to get rid of the bubbles. And what happened was 4 of these colors curdled. They got lumpy. The only color that didn't was the deep blue. So after much more mixing, I let it sit for a while. It is less lumpy, but it is not the consistency that I like. The consistency was fine before I added the alcohol. So note to self, I will not be adding alcohol while using the Americana line. So this experiment may be flawed to begin with. But I've never had a paint do that, get lumpy like that. Sometimes the metallics will. So you blend it slowly. Your pouring medium, you just add a bit to it and just keep adding. But I've never had a paint curdle like that. So I figured, for the sake of science, to just go through with the experiment. It is still not an ideal consistency. Alrighty. So let's put some paint in a cup, shall we? This is a 14 by 14 canvas. That'll be about 7 ounces of paint. I'm not going to lay down a base coat because I'm not expecting this to go well, and I don't want to waste any paint. So I will start with my opaque. Yeah, even just pouring out, that's looking lumpy. Not lumpy as much as just, it's just not smooth. The dark blue looks fine, which I find interesting that was the one that didn't react. Green. Okay, I have about 5 ounces of paint in here. When doing a straight pour, I generally use less than what the canvas calls for because I want to stretch it a lot. Also, I usually have a base coat. So this is truly just a test. Because I'm expecting this paint to not react well due to the curdling. But let's see what happens. All right, there's a boatload of bubbles in here, so let's get rid of those. Okay, there is no silicone in here. See, when I don't use a base coat, all of this is going to stick to the canvas, and then the other paint just rolls over top of it, which is why I use a base coat. You want to recenter your paint before changing direction. There's already a bug trying to land on this painting. Jeez. There have been a lot of bugs who have given their life to become part of my art. So I see cells popping up here. I don't know if I love it. These cells, I mean, like, I actually kind of like this softness that's going on over here. A little bit of the blending of the colors. But the opaque became the solid background for these cells, which that part I had predicted. But I don't think the other colors mixed well enough with it for it to fully get immersed in there. So perhaps I will use up the rest of this paint and I'll use the piping bag and see if that garners a different result. It's strange. These cells are actually kind of there's a dark ring around the yellow, almost like snowflake effect. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for a bit and I'll come back in for a close-up. Okay, this has been sitting for about 10 minutes. And you can see there are some more cells popping up, but they have a very strange effect, kind of fractaled. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I'll let it dry, and if it's a total nightmare or cracks on me because it was lumpy, then we'll just start over. But anyway, just another day in the laboratory. All right, you guys, thanks for watching, and please like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. I hope you have a beautiful day. Go make some art.